So first starting it up, I'm gonna say the needle did not move. I think we're at 80 degrees. However, I do feel some warm air coming from the vents immediately. So I'm gonna say that is some progress and I am happy. Okay, y'all, so we're underneath the 2018 WRX. This is the 2-liter. But anyways, being underneath it from the rear of the vehicle, we're looking underneath this entire chassis. And for the engine block heater on this particular model, it's actually going to be on this passenger side. A quick observation I made. So we do have a few of these bolts that look like they may have slightly loosened up over the longevity of this motor. So what we're going to do is obviously clean that up and then also just kind of retorque those down. Pretty proud of her. But there we go. We have more access to that bolt, as I explained to you all previously. So it should be fairly simple to actually just kind of reach in there and loosen it up the way that we need to and move forward. But one other thing, I think I did explain to a few people in some other comments previously about the poor grounding of this Subaru. So I'm probably going to replace this grounding cable just because we're here anyways. And now we can actually drain the coolant from this radiator. Here's the access drain, that little Phillips port. You just unscrew that. Remember how I was talking about the poor grounding on these? Look at this one. This is on the driver's side for the exhaust to the frame. That green is corrosion. That's not good. I almost have this plug actually backed out and in order to make sure it doesn't spill all over the place, we're gonna lower it down to the ground so we can actually dump it in. Okay, we have it cracked loose. So one big misconception for all of you actually like reading the instructions, they tell you to remove the entire turbo and manifold. You don't need to do that as long as you actually have the right socket along with an extension and a swivel. So that's in fact what I used in order to break that loose. All right, here's the engine block heater element, and I just applied a small bead of high temp, high torque sealant along the threads because it does require that. I know some people install theirs without it, but I only plan on doing this one time and not having to revisit. I will, of course, pressure test everything just to ensure that we don't have any issues. And as you see, we have it installed. So one pointer that I have for everybody is when you're installing this component here, you may need to file the top just a tad bit because it does come close when you're trying to actually thread it on, hitting the flange of the exhaust manifold. And therefore I just filed it down probably by fractions of a millimeter. And that actually helped me get this started. So now I'm getting ready to torque it down, but we have it close to being flush onto the actual block. And now we are finished. So I have the plug in, the element is secure. I actually have the harness routed the way that it instructed me to. So we have it running away from the exhaust and then out to the outside, which then goes to the front on the side of the radiator and then secured on the side with that clip. I'm going to have this mounted vertically in order to make sure that water and stuff doesn't get inside that boot, because then we'll end up having corrosion. But that's it in a nutshell. That's the installation without removal of the exhaust and all that other stuff. That's it.